1 week ago, I made a challenge for the people in my Discord to find out who could make the most efficient ore processing system possible in the Create mod. Over 1 week later, and I have 5 submissions behind me. The winner of this competition is going to get the champion rank inside of my Discord. If you're interested in any of these designs, everyone's social medias are going to be linked in the description, as well as a link to my Discord where you can find the schematics of every one of these designs. So without a further ado, let's jump into the video. The very first design submission came from CSH, and he came up with a very unique rectangular design for this ore processing system, and you can see it is going insanely fast. So the way that this works is you take this barrel in the corner, you throw your iron in, and it's now going to go through all of these monstrosities of mechanical arms and get placed into the crushing wheel, which will then fall into a basin, just like the usual ore processing system. There's also a mechanical press that will press through the crushing wheels into the basin to then press the iron nuggets into ingots. And then after it finishes all of that, it will then press the ingots into blocks, which all gets outputted into this barrel up here. Now, this barrel will also hold the cobblestone, and at times, as you can see, will hold the iron nuggets until the iron nuggets also get pulled out of this barrel and turned into iron ingots. And then once they're just iron ingots, it will then pull the iron ingots and turn it into iron blocks, and so on. This is some of, if not the most compact design I've ever seen for an ore processing system. It's all to do with encased chain drives and all of these lovely little windmill bearings that actually have windmills on them. Just one single windmill frame. Just doesn't want to load for the video, but that is the reason that this whole thing is powered. We have them all snuck into the design. Some are located right here, and you can see there's one right here. We have other ones that are placed over here that are going to be powering the mechanical presses and stuff. Just absolutely insane on how much stuff is going on in just a couple of blocks. Our next ore processor comes from Shadow Crab 5. Now, he has done kind of the opposite of this design. Instead of staying on one level, he's made it go vertically. And I really appreciate this design, especially if you've watched my past videos. I always build underground all of my machines, so I like that kind of take on this build. The way it works is that you'd be in a little area, maybe some type of building, and you have chests with inputs and outputs. So you're going to place your ore in here, and then it gets outputted into here. You could select if you would like ingots, you can select if you would like nuggets via redstone links, as well as you have the ability to select if you want your gravel crushed or washed, depending on what you are being placed into here. Really cool concept and take on my instructions. So let's grab some iron ore and we can run through it being processed. So if we just throw another stack of iron ore, you can see it's going to be coming out on conveyor belts, being placed into chutes, going into crushing wheels, and then getting separated based on the items. You could see that he's also taken andesite funnels and brass funnels and made it as cheap as possible. So certain things that don't need andesite or certain things that don't need brass are using andesite and so on. I really appreciate the little tubes right here where you can actually see the items float up once they get processed. Again, a really cool concept. I appreciate the adjustable crates that we have here just for any kind of things that overflow. And really cool on how it's all separated out. I also really appreciate that once the system is built, that it's just 2 chests. You don't have to think about how anything is being processed. The next ore processing system is by UglyBastard. Now, he also did a very similar design where it's going to be vertically. And again, I really appreciate it because if you build this all underground, you just need basically a chest. Now, he's also done a little bit of a different concept where he's gone with the furnace engine and flywheel. Now, the past design used water wheels for power, and the one before that used windmills, so we now have a third power source for a processing system. So let me throw some iron in here, and we can go ahead and talk about how this all works. So you can see he actually has a double set of crushing wheels, which it's going to process double times the amount of ores. So you can see that we have 2 chutes. It's going to process 2 separate stacks or 2 separate items. Then they're going to be placed into an overflow chest. Through the overflow chest, we also have a double amount of chutes for more processing. It gets sucked in with fans, which is really cool. I really like it. And also, you can see with all of the belts and the encased chain drives that this mechanical press just flies through processing the system. It's insanely fast. Now, this next processing system is called the Noisemaker by Austin. Now, Austin has done another similar situation where this would be located underground and you just have to worry about some chests and storage. Now, if we go ahead and see on how this thing is powered, it's powered by a flywheel and a furnace engine, just like the last couple of them. So basically all you do is you throw in your fuel input, you throw in the things that you can burn, and then you're going to throw in your ores. So if we just grab our iron, we can go ahead and throw it in there, and we're going to watch it all get processed. I really appreciate the glass floor because you can actually watch this entire system happen without having to worry about it. I also appreciate the additions of the speedometer and the stressometer. Really cool, especially if you're upgrading this thing. And as you could tell, you could see why it is called the noisemaker, with this mechanical press going like crazy. Again, I really appreciate this entire design. It's also very neat and tidy, which is really awesome. This last processing system is by Frog on my server. Now, he's also done a very similar design as the first one, and also a mix of a couple of the other ones. So you can see that we have a mix of a windmill bearing, and we have a furnace engine flywheel. Now, the way that this works is if you open up this blast furnace, you can see that we have a single piece of ore bouncing up and down, and this is actually going to create an infinite power source by using a little bit of a exploit. Now, if we take some coal and we throw it in here, the coal is going to light, but it's never going to burn this iron ore completely because it keeps getting sucked in and out of a chute. Very unique design, something I was not expecting to happen. And now you could see that we have a bunch of mechanical arms and everything. If we go ahead and open this chest right here, so we'll grab some iron. We can throw our ores right in here. It's going to get sucked into. The mechanical arms are going to bring it to wherever it needs to go, and it's going to get processed. So I really like this combination of mix of redstone, a mix of ore processing and everything, and just like the last two, it makes a ton of noise, and it's able to process things very, very quickly. All right, and that brings me to the point to announce the winner. Let's get a drum roll in here. And the winner is CSH. Now, the reason I have chose CSH's machine is just because of how compact, but also complex this machine is. Now, what I mean by this is it's a perfect rectangle with speed controllers, there's the power sources, there's funnels, there's barrels, there's mechanical arms, the crushing wheels, everything is compacted into a small rectangle. You could fit this into any of your designs and easily hide it to have an ore processing system. I also really appreciate, much like the other systems, that it ends up taking your ores, turns them into nuggets, turns them into ingots, and then can also turn them right into blocks if you would like to have storage. Because of course, once you get a lot of items, turning it into a block would be a good idea. I also really appreciate the entirety of the windmill bearings being able to be hidden inside of each other to save more space. Overall, this is more efficient on space, more efficient on processing ores, and overall is the most efficient ore processing system I have seen basically of all time. So I have to say, CSH, congratulations, man. This is easily the best ore processing system I've seen in a long time. If you haven't already, please go ahead and check out CSH's social media that will be linked in the description. Definitely go ahead and congratulate him on his new role inside of my Discord. I plan to do a lot more of these competitions in the future because I really want to get my community involved in a lot of different things. So if you appreciated this video, let me know in the comments. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next one.